I am buying ICP instead of XLM, and the reason why is because I'm a bigger fan of its room for growth. I mean, keep in mind, right? ICP going to the price of $500, that right there is around a 41x from here, and market cap, considering current circulating supply, would be around $237 billion. You know, Ethereum did reach this by over 300 billion, so I don't think it's too insane. However, besides that point, if I take a look at XLM, if it were to do, let's say, also 41x from here, at that point, the price would be around $21.70, and market cap would be around $650 billion. Now, am I saying that XLM is going to do bad? Like, no, of course not. I think that it could do, a lot better than what it's doing as of right now. Like, for instance, going to the price of $5, anywhere to up to $7 or $8, that really wouldn't be too shocking to me. But reaching like over $20, I don't think it could do that. Now, here's the thing. What would have an easier time doing over 40x? Or let's say even tone things down, like over 20x? ICP or XLM? I think hands down it's going to be ICP. Naturally, because it's lower, the room for growth is hypothetically going to be better. I'm not saying that XLM has bad exposure. I'm not saying that it's caca. I'm not saying that the community is bad. I'm not saying that. It's very good. But then again, from as of right now, I'm not talking about like years ago. I'm not talking about months ago. I'm talking about the point where they are in as of right now. I think ICP just would have an easier time doing a lot better. Now, I do understand how when it comes to Stellar, it is one of the best blockchains out there in my opinion. But I think also the Internet Computer could be argued as being wonderful as well. You have to take into consideration how the Internet Computer is currently the world's most productive blockchain, statistically speaking. So that's, pretty amazing, right? I mean, if you think about it, how many blockchains are out there as of right now? This is a very impressive figure, or should I say very impressive achievement to have. Not to mention as well, you take a look at how the Internet Computer is attempting to decentralize the internet, which I think is, pretty amazing right now. It's a grand vision. I understand that some people think it's pretty much impossible, but why not? You aim for the moon, and then if let's say you don't reach there, you hopefully land somewhere along the stars or something like that. That's one of the old sayings, right? But even besides that point, the way you take a look at it, the Internet Computer does have grand visions. But if we want to tone things down, let's say, see what they're focused on a more like realistic basis, some people would argue. That's like, for instance, decentralized AI, right? They're focused on the AI market. AI, we all know, is going to be the next big thing, in my opinion, hypothetically at least, because the market is predicted to be worth nearly $2 trillion by 2030, according to Grand View Research. So it's pretty massive. Not to mention as well, when you take a look at the Internet Computer, it is very amazing, especially when people compare it to something like a Solana or like, Ethereum, or maybe sometimes people like to say that, oh, BNB is much better. But in my opinion, I think that the Internet Computer just wins because you have to consider how, first of all, Solana, it's not necessarily known for its rock solid reliability, right? You know what I mean? At one point, allegedly, it experienced 8 different network outages in just a time span of a year. And a lot of people often, find it suspect in terms of its reliability. Now, we move forward to, let's say, the BNB Smart Chain ecosystem. Now, this right here, I have to admit, it's massive. But then, if slightly over 2% of the crypto hacks that happened back in 2023 actually occurred on there, according to Crypto.com research, by the way, is that great? No, I don't think so. I mean, come on. Not to mention, when you take a look at Ethereum, gas fees are a complete no bueno. Also on top of that, scalability is often an issue. It has to often rely on these Ethereum layer 2s to fix all this type of nonsense. Keep in mind, the average cost per instruction on the Internet Computer is over 40 million times less expensive than Ethereum. And also, for $1 worth of smart contract data on the Internet Computer, you can get over 200 million bytes. Now, on Ethereum, you can get only around 44 bytes. So, come on, right? I mean, that's a totally night and day difference. That's pretty embarrassing, to be honest. Caralho, porra. So the way I take a look at it is that the Internet Computer, is it bad? No. Now, does it have more fans than the Stellar blockchain? No. But then here's the thing. The way I take a look at it is that when it comes to Stellar, they're under some fierce competition, in my opinion, because, being focused on the global trade and finance market, being focused quite essentially on the payments market, it's massive. There is hypothetical massive potential there. But then naturally, because of that, there's a lot of competitors. Even though the payments market as of right now is valued at over $2 trillion, still there's a lot of competition there. Is Stellar going to become number one? Who knows, right? But I think it's going to be pretty difficult. When you take a look at the Internet Computer, yeah, sure, it's focused on decentralizing the internet. But if we remove that, it's still the world's most productive blockchain. So really, if you consider the internet computer, it's up against like weaker competition as opposed to like Stellar, in my opinion, because naturally it's trying to achieve like, great things. It's focused on a market that has a lot of competition. Of course, it's going to be more difficult to shine. But I'm not necessarily saying that Stellar is going to be bad. I like the future of it. However, in my opinion, I think the internet computer is going to have an easier time to shine. It's going to have an easier time to really stand out as opposed to something like Stellar. Now, XLM, it's listed in a bunch of major exchanges. ICP is too. Keep in mind, right? Exposure isn't as great as XLM. I totally understand that, but it's still listed in a bunch of major exchanges. This is going to matter a lot, I think, during a fully fledged bull run, especially, once the bull run is in fifth gear. As of right now, people are saying that $200,000 for Bitcoin wouldn't be surprising. And I would agree with that, actually, because here's the thing. With the trajectory of Bitcoin as of right now, I think $200,000 could hypothetically be easy peasy. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen like next week or something like that, but let's say like next year in 2025, let's say 6 months to 10 months from right now, why not, And I think if that were to happen, I think not only is XLM going to go along with the ride, I think ICP is too, and a bunch of other altcoins. In 2021, we saw many Kaka projects go along with the ride. So it doesn't necessarily mean that the internet computer needs like, mass scale adoption in the next like 6 months or something like that in order to be a success. No, it just has to be the way it is, I think, as of right now, but with like a lot more buying pressure and buying volume, which naturally I think could hypothetically happen as ICP, gains a lot more attention. And as, Bitcoin does better, as the sentiment for altcoins do a lot better. The internet computer doesn't really need much more adoption. Now, in the long term, it's going to matter, but in the short term, not really. I don't think it matters at all. When ADA was having that massive rally back in 2021, did anyone care about Cardano's adoption? Cardano has better adoption as of right now than back then. But then the price of ADA as of right now is a lot lower than its peak back in 2021. So again, it doesn't really matter, in my opinion. If it was all about adoption or like, these amazing fundamentals in the short term, right? Then I think ADA would break a new all-time high like right now, but it's not, right? So then when it comes to the internet computer, again, it doesn't really need like mass scale adoption. But the way to take a look at it is that, again, I don't think it really matters because ICP at the price of $500 during this bull run wouldn't be surprising whatsoever. Once it reaches like $50, $100, $200, really, it could just be this amazing, rise, I would say, hypothetically. We've seen ADA have a very difficult time going from the price of around 3 cents to $1. But then ever since then, right, from $1 to $2, for $2 to over that, it was very easy because it was like giving people this social proof in a sense, right? People are like, oh, wow, it's going up. And then they believed in it. So when it comes to ICP, I'm not going to wait for that though, because I think the key is to believe in it hypothetically before it does that, which is why I've been talking about ICP for quite a while now, but I still haven't sold anything because I think better days are ahead. $500 wouldn't surprise me whatsoever, especially when I consider the trajectory of the crypto space overall. I'm not saying that XLM is bad by any means. However, ICP is the winner here for me. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I greatly appreciate it. It's Malik the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.